Police Scotland's Highlands and Islands Division is Britain's biggest beat.
The geographical scope of where we police is phenomenal.
12,000 square miles of glens, islands, deep lochs and towering mountains.
We do have some of the most dangerous terrain.
Where the hell is he? Where is he?
Even if you were a very good swimmer, you're not coming out of there.
Patrolling this vast, wild landscape.
There is some vehicles out there, but I don't think they're going to be...
And answering emergency calls in the wilderness.
There's a dead body in the river.
The Highland Cops go above and beyond to combat crime.
Clearly quite a bit of blood.
Suspicious death, same as you would get anywhere else.
And keep people safe.
Leave me alone!
We will attend to everybody's worst day.
We need to try and make sure you're okay.
Here, traditional rural policing.
I've had a report of a satellite tag golden eagle that's gone offline. It shouts out to me that it's being killed.
Meet state-of-the-art crime fighting.
Top floor, there's a lot of rocks, a lot of cars.
This is a cocaine wipe, so it turns blue, and it is cocaine that. Yep.
This series goes inside the UK's most unique police force.
1 minute you're dealing with an avalanche, come on, and the next you've got a lively lab.
To find out what it takes to patrol the beat.
It is a family. You are working with your brothers and sisters.
And keep the peace in some of the most beautiful and challenging places in Britain.
Being born and bred in the Highlands, I assume that most folk associate Inverness with Loch Ness Monster, whiskey. But probably most folk are really unaware that actually we've got a massive issue here with county lines drug dealing gangs. If I were to tell my granny, I think she'd be flabbergasted.
Inverness is Britain's most northerly city, but the drug gangs now targeting it originate in English cities, hundreds of miles to the south.
County lines refers to crossing different regions or boundaries for the purposes of dealing drugs. We were looking at 6 to 9 groups operating at any one particular time from Liverpool or London or Birmingham.
The police are fighting back by raiding properties they believe are being used by dealers.
Today we're going to execute a drug search warrant linked to a county line group that originates from Merseyside area. We've had intelligence to state that they could be within this address. One of the nominals that we think is within the address is wanted for a separate incident involving crack and heroin, so if he's in there, then that's a straight arrest for him.
The property to be raided is in a built-up area where the police activity will be quickly noticed.
The plan is to enter from the side. Sometimes with these things you don't want to be seen because that changes the element of surprise.
It's important to act fast on a warrant. Predominantly, one of the reasons is for the destruction of evidence. If we stand and chap a door, these people aren't going to open it willingly and say, oh, come in, take everything we've got. They're going to put it down the sink, flush it down the toilet. The other thing they might be able to do is they can arm themselves with weapons.
We've got a search warrant to search the address.
As soon as we know the house is clear, you'll go back in, don't worry, we've just got a warrant to search your house.
The occupant is not the suspect the police are looking for. He could be inside.
Do you want the living room's clear? Can we go in? Is it clear now?
There's nobody else in the flat. Either the suspect was never here, or he was warned the police were coming.
My colleague here will give you a quick search. You understand that this time you're the in terms of Section 22, which is drugs, yeah? You're always hoping that the warrant will be successful. But when you know persons within, there's every chance that someone has spotted us. If they see us coming, they'll phone ahead to the group to let them know. So that might give them 5 or 10 minutes to dispose of any drugs or flee from the address.
But the operation isn't over. The flat and its occupants need to be searched for any evidence that a drug gang may have been dealing from here.
And I'll caution you as well, see anything you say, we will note it and we might present evidence. You understand?
That's right.
Perfect, right. part of the reason why I think some of these groups find it easy to navigate around Inverness, because they have built quite a big network of persons that they can use and depend upon for their drug dealing.
These groups will target different people depending on what they want done in the area. For housing, they will target vulnerable people who are addicted to drugs already, and they will pay them in drugs or small amounts of cash.
This tactic, used frequently by the gangs, is known as cuckooing.
The phrase cuckooing comes from the cuckoo, the bird, but it'll take over like another bird's nest. But they'll do it up here, whereby they'll actually take over like a vulnerable person's house, as they will use multiple addresses within the space of one day, deliberately to avoid police detection.
This is going to happen every time because I got caught once, isn't it?
No, this has happened because we've had information that was enough to get us a warrant for the address. So we wouldn't be here without that. Her house has had a warrant done at it before, so she's obviously quite upset that we keep coming back, but we just have to go off the information and the intelligence that we get.
I'm not trying to come across as angry against like you guys personally. I'm angry at the situation.
No, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I first time round did a horrible mistake, but the second time round, I'm not very impressed with at all.
Is anybody searching here? Because there's what looks to be a gun. What is that? It's quite heavy. Is it a BB gun?
Paintball before you go crazy.
As the team goes room to room, the search does turn up something suspicious.
That looks like cannabis to me, but we'll get it tested so we can confirm. Are we all done? Not what we were expecting, but the fact that they're not there is a bonus, I think, for the locals. But the question is, where are they? They're somewhere. They're going to be close by, but they're just not here. So we'll try again.
As a born and bred Invernessian, it actually really sickens me that these county lines groups have taken such a hold on my hometown. We can execute search warrants every week, but sometimes you feel like you're playing whack-a-mole. It does feel like some of these groups just seem to have this endless supply of foot soldiers who can keep coming to Inverness to deal drugs, to make money. Something that we're battling every week.
Police, what's the address of your emergency?
Crackdown.
Oh, sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, the line's quite bad, it keeps breaking up.
High in the hills, west of Fort William, a group of hikers have made a grim discovery.
Hello, can you hear me?
A dead body.
There's a dead body in the river?
Yes.
The body may be that of a hiker reported missing by his family. The river where it was spotted is swollen and dangerous after heavy rain. Since the call came in yesterday, mountain rescue volunteers have been searching the area. They found some items in the river, but there's no sign of a body. Today, Police Scotland Mountain Rescue Team have arrived to help. In charge is Inspector Matt Smith.
We knew that an extreme weather event had taken place, and the rivers right across the Highlands, specifically in that area, would have been very, very high. The person that's phoned 999 to tell us about that incident has suggested pretty much the same thing. So it signposts us to why a person's maybe found themselves in the water in the first place. But more importantly, we know what a problem and how risky the search will be in those early hours when we're looking for it. My God, right, I'll need to bag and tag some of this. The family, they're going through the worst time of their life. And until we bring that person home, sometimes they're never going to get the closure they need. It's vitally important we do it. they are looking to the police and the mountain rescue teams to find their loved one.
Also on the team is PC Cal MacLeod.
What the members of the Loch Arkaig Mountain Rescue Team found in their search of the river is a piece of an Ordnance Survey map. But interestingly, this is for the next area up, so it might well be that the gentleman that's missing was thinking about doing that. So whilst it's not the map for this area, it's just another bit of a clue that helps us build a picture of what's been going on. They've recovered a top. It's not been in the river very long, and this is a very, very remote place that doesn't see many people or walkers. What this tells us is that we definitely know he was here, we definitely know he's been in the water and the river. We could be searching for days or weeks if we thought he was just between 3 or 4 glens. If we know that he's come to grief in the water and some of his clothing's come off, so if we get little clues that narrow our search area down, it means that we've got a better chance of finding that person.
When a body is caught in fast-flowing water, then its movement can be completely unpredictable. It could get caught in certain areas underwater. It could get caught in vegetation near the embankment, or it could get flushed downstream exceptionally quickly.
The river flows down from the mountains into Loch Arkaig. If the body has been swept into the loch, finding it will be almost impossible. It's 12 miles long and 300 feet deep. With the weather getting worse, Matt, Cal and the team head up into the hills, to the part of the river where the body was spotted and the map and clothing found.
It's going to be really difficult because the water levels are really high, and so there's a real danger for anybody out searching, and to be honest, today we'll just have to do as best as we can. There's a few kilometres we can still drive on here. We're quite lucky to be able to get a bit further up to get closer to where we need to access today. It's a beautiful place, but very Scottish weather, very Highland weather, absolutely pouring with rain, and that's us wet before we've even started today. The place that the body was last seen was just actually up behind me, just in the trees there. Kind of ground gets quite narrow and it's a beautiful gorge and waterfall. So we think, if anything, the body may have been swept down the river where it joins this one here right behind us, which is a significant body of water today. So yeah, the conditions aren't great, and that is a very high water level.
If he's come down this river, he might have got snagged, so we're paying attention to just having a good look here. But it's enough to keep someone down in there.
When searching near rivers, they're dangerous. The water's fast flowing. If you end up in there, you can end up in a lot of trouble very, very quickly. We wear the appropriate safety equipment when we're moving in and around rivers, but even still, it's about teamwork and looking out for each other.
We'll keep going up here, and certainly the corners, the water flows faster, tight in, and all these trees are snag points. Yeah. We can make a good assessment. At that corner, see just higher up from the stone there, there's a nasty little fold of flowing water that would pin anything.
And as the team moves along the river, they notice something.
So we've made a find of a piece of clothing, and it's snagged here. Again, it's just another one of these little clues, but we need to recover this because this might be yet another one that'll home the search area down. What I think it is, it's probably some kind of cotton, maybe a t-shirt or a base layer. It's had a lot of pressure in it. It's been, and it fits for the snagging profile of the little trees. So I would say up here we'll give this a really good going over. Like that.
That's deep enough, and in fact it's got the kind of the bubbles. He could be in there. We can't see into the bottom of it, but there's definite potential a human could be in there and snagged and caught in the water flow. There's a storm coming tomorrow, so that makes searching really difficult, and if the water levels go up any more, then it would just become not sensible to be here.
With the weather closing in, Matt calls off the search for today. When conditions improve, a police dive team will be deployed to look for the body. But with every passing hour, hope that the body will be found before it is swept down into the loch is fading.
It's hugely disappointing to have to stop before you're finished. You really want to find a person, you want to bring them home. You still have that human wish, that duty of care as a mountain rescuer, to do everything you can to find them and bring them home to that family, to give them the closure they deserve.
In Inverness, Response Officer PC Mary Johnson is on shift. She has just been called to a tragic incident at an address in the city.
So a call has come in for a person who was unconscious and not breathing. A unit have attended and an ambulance crew have also attended, and unfortunately the person is deceased.
Control from 401.
Hello. Just in this one, is it?
Initial reports suggest the man may have died from a drugs overdose. Marie takes a statement from the paramedic who was first on the scene.
And then you couldn't gain access initially?
The deceased was behind the door.
Right, thank you.
With county lines gangs controlling the supply of heroin and crack into Inverness, overdoses are becoming all too common in the city and the surrounding Highland region. And across Scotland, drug death numbers are now the highest in Europe.
As the number of county lines groups are increasing, that would suggest that the demand is increasing. So unfortunately what we are seeing is the number of drug addicts, drug users, the numbers are on the increase.
With any sudden death, the circumstances need to be investigated. So before the man's body can be removed, the flat needs to be searched.
Operational Support Unit have arrived and they're conducting a postal-led search just to ensure that we can gather as much information as possible, really to establish what's happened to this male.
I don't understand why we have such a big issue with drugs deaths. What I do know is that I am meeting more drug users with each week that passes whilst I'm in this team. I do feel that, generally speaking, the drugs issue is just getting bigger and bigger.
This male was 39, soon to turn 40. Somebody who's a very similar age to myself. That is quite hard. These deaths are happening more and more often, and it's something that could be avoidable. There are many drug-related deaths to younger people, which, I mean, it's not nice to see.
It really seems a struggle for some drug users. The addiction just seems to be so strong and so powerful that they just can't combat it. So I feel every day that we come into work in our team, we are strongly committed to trying to make a difference in the war against drugs.
Fort William, Officers Stephen Cooper and Ian Young are on duty, and on their way to investigate a suspected violent incident.
Yeah, there's a guy saying he's been assaulted by a random member on the street because he's been walking his dog. For whatever reason, he's decided he didn't like it. Is that? Surely it's not that guy. I wouldn't have thought the guy that done it was going to hang about with you.
Arriving at the scene, Stephen and Ian find both the victim and his alleged attacker waiting for them.
Hi there. How you doing?
It's quite rare that we would come across an incident where somebody's assaulted somebody and they've kind of stayed there to answer for the assault when someone's phoned the police.
The first thing Ian needs to establish is whether the man did attack the dog walker, and if so, why?
I saw him pulling his dog. I just saw him just kept pulling by the neck. I got annoyed and I said, hey man, just be patient. And he told me to. In the moment, I smacked him in the back of the head and he called the police.
Slapped him or punched him or slapped, right?
Yeah, I said I was sorry. I just thought the way he was pulling the dog, he was just
It's a spaniel, to be fair, so they're quite excitable.
No, I understand.
The fact that you're telling me that and the fact that you've stayed here, which a lot of people wouldn't.
No.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but in the same hand.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm here.
There's a couple of ways we can do things like this.
Yeah.
We can arrest you and take you in.
Yeah.
We can report you to the court, or we can give you a warning.
Yeah.
You've obviously realised it's not right, it's wrong. You can't be just lashing out at people. However, have you been involved with the police before?
No.
Ever? No.
Just do a quick check for it and then I'll get the print.
Yeah.
Stephen checks the system for any previous convictions or police warnings on the man's record.
It's important to deal with that quite quickly because you don't want it lingering over people. It's all about just trying to get it dealt with, get people corrective advice and try and prevent it from happening in the future.
It comes back clear.
That being the case, I think it's quite apt for us to give you a recorded police warning, which basically means that if anything like this subsequently happened, then we couldn't deal with it like this, then you'd have to come with us to the station, you'd be arrested.
While Ian deals with the assailant, Stephen checks with the victim. He is uninjured. The question is, will he want to press charges?
He's fully and frankly admitting what he's done. Our proposal is to deal with it by way of a formal warning, which goes on his record, if you're happy with that, yeah?
But as Ian is writing up the warning, the man begins to break down.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm upset, sorry.
Yeah, listen, it's alright, don't you get upset, alright?
Yeah, it's just, I've got a lot going on.
Right, listen, everybody's got a lot going on, we completely understand that, alright? There's quite often something in the background to these things that happen, whether you're stressed a wee bit or see if we can help. Just tell us. See if you don't want to tell us here in the middle of the street, come and see me at the station and we'll have a cup of tea and a chat about it. But don't ever feel as if you've nobody to speak to.
Yeah, no.
Alright? You remember that we're here to help people, not here to always get people into trouble. But please come and see us if you want somebody to speak to. Alright?
A significant proportion of police work these days is led by or caused by some kind of mental health issue. A lot of people struggle with their mental health and it leads them to behave in ways that maybe not always criminal, but we do get a lot of criminal behaviour as a result of poor mental health.
Do you want us to take you to the hospital?
No.
You didn't speak to somebody? Listen, it's alright. It's alright. Sometimes it takes something to happen just to get some help. Alright?
It's all just gotten too much. We can take you to the hospital and...
I think we'll take him to the hospital. I'll wander down with him.
Yeah.
I'll wander. Come on, grab your bag and I'll wander down with you and I'll let you can get the van.
We've got to have it there in our minds all the time that we've got to be supporting these people to try and get them help with their mental health. And again, that's preventing further issues down the line.
Sometimes it's just a bit much, it's obviously. And the thing is, that guy doesn't know what your thing is. And all he sees is that you in that one instant.
After accompanying the man to the local hospital, Ian leaves him in the care of the psychiatric nurse who will assess him.
He maybe even didn't realise that he was under so much stress. And it's easy for people to say, oh, well, He's done that, he's out of order, but he realised himself, his exact words were, I don't normally act like that. So that shows you what he knows he's not like that. He's never been in trouble with the police before. I don't think he's ever spoken to a policeman. And really decent young guy, and sometimes you just need some help. We're not just here to get people into trouble. We need to help people as well, and that's the kind of guy that just needs a wee bit of help.
In the hills above Loch Arkaig, the search for the body in the river is entering its third day. It's believed to be that of a hiker, reported missing by his family, and may have been swept downstream into the loch.
An awful lot of his kit was recovered on the way down, and at the mouth here, the stuff was pretty obvious, the foreign object. We were finding bits of mat, rucksacks, loads of stuff. So.
The river is fast flowing and deep, so today, in addition to the mountain rescue team, Matt has called in police divers trained to search in dangerous water.
When we were last here, water level was at least maybe a couple of metres up. So ideally we want to find him. His body is still missing, and we're keen to get that back to the family as soon as we can. So that's probably further up. Where we're standing at the moment is pretty much the point that two witnesses have found a body, but by the time they were able to get out and raise the alarm to the police, and we could get here, the body had washed away. So this is us back now. The water level has dropped considerably. Some of the pools that the divers are looking into relatively easily with snorkels and masks today, we just couldn't see into before at all.
The team is focusing on sections of the river where they previously found items of clothing and kit.
In this area, there's quite a lot of deep pooling and rocks, and this could actually catch a body or any of the property that's missing. So it's just making sure that we get all the deeper pools in here searched.
While the divers search the river, Matt is trying to work out where and why the man might have fallen in.
So that's a big increase in noise, which suggests something to see and a potential viewpoint.
Yeah.
And suddenly, this is the most beautiful part.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you were going to come down and take a photo and slip,
yeah,
this is the place, isn't it?
For me, that waterfall is the likely point of entry. Both paths either side of the river come really close to it. If you took the wrong slip on that path, you would probably end up in the water there. Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very slidey.
Then, as the divers make their way downriver towards the loch, one of them spots something in the pool below the waterfall.
EWN, EWN.
The dive team have a find, so at this point we don't know what it is. It looks like an article of clothing. It's quite far down, so about 2 meters, so they're just working on getting down to it. It's a difficult find with a black item down there. It appears they've found a jacket. What we have to do now is figure out the brand, and then we can check and see if that ties in with what he was wearing at the time.
Foul Raven, men's large, Foul Raven.
The make of jacket matches the one the family said he was wearing. But it doesn't necessarily mean the body is close by.
We know from the
water flow that it has been carrying things down the water. And unfortunately, once a body settles into the loch, it's potential that it can never be found again.
In any search, you will reach the point where you have to scale back the search, effectively stop it. By that stage, we will have expected to explored every lead that we could, carried out all the inquiry that we could, and that from a search perspective, that every resource that we could put to it feasibly, proportionately. We can't search forever. The volunteer mountain rescue teams can't search forever. But when we step back from a search, we do so knowing that we've done everything we feasibly could in the circumstances for them and for their families.
As the team finishes searching the final stretch of river, it seems increasingly likely that the body has been washed downstream and lost in the depths of this huge body of water.
Telling a family is very, very difficult. And picking up the phone and having that conversation is something that you'll never forget as a police officer, because it's at that stage that you're really telling that family that there might be a chance that they're never brought home, and that's an exceptionally difficult thing to tell a family. As a human being, as a mountain rescuer, you want to bring that person home. It's why you do what it is you do. You'll never forget about that person. It will always be at the back of your mind that you've not brought them home.
Rising 4,000 feet above sea level, the Cairngorms is Britain's highest mountain range and a major snow sports destination. On shift today are PC's Jamie Embry and Ross Nairn. They've had a call about someone who could be in trouble on the slopes.
There's actually been an avalanche today. The mountain leader has contacted us to advise us of this, so we're going to head up there.
The person who's reported it witnessed the avalanche and seen a dark object go through it.
A member of the public had seen a skier climbing up a particular slope, heard a loud rumble, looked over and seen avalanche occur. Couldn't confirm 100%, but believed that possibly one person had been swept away by this avalanche and had gone down potentially several hundred meters down the slope. There'll be avalanches on the mountains, a lot more than I think people appreciate. There's probably about 100 avalanches every season. It's only the ones that obviously involve people that we get notified about.
When there's a possibility someone is trapped by an avalanche, Mountain Rescue launches a full search operation.
Yes, if you could attach us to it, we're making our way up there right now.
A Coast Guard helicopter carries the rescue volunteers up to investigate the avalanche site, while Ross and Jamie oversee the operation from the ground.
As police, the onus is on us to try and find as many resources as possible to throw onto that hill. Time's critical in these things. If they're trapped under the snow, they're not going to have a long time before they're going to suffocate.
So we're just going to pull into the mountain rescue team base station here, and hopefully somebody will be here.
There is lights on.
Yeah.
The team here have been in touch with the witness, who sheds more light on what they think they've spotted on the mountain.
Well, it sounds like there's been a couple of skiers skiing and self-triggered an avalanche. Kinda sounds like there's one fully buried. Aircraft's there, we've got a team still waiting for confirmation, so it sounds pretty big.
Cheers.
As the rescue team heads to the avalanche site to look for any skiers trapped in the snow, Jamie and Ross drive up to the helicopter landing site at the ski centre to monitor the situation.
It sounds like there will be a full team deployment. We leave it in their hands because, they can't send officers up onto the hill. We're not mountain rescue trained. We'd be more of a hindrance, a liability than anything else.
Hi there. You part of the MRT?
No, I'm
Crisis manager down there, but it's got a rescue team down there.
So they're up at the main resort? Or?
I think the helicopter landed to pick some of them up, I think.
Right.
So they're probably heading in.
No bother. I will go up to the resort and see what's happening here then. Perfect. Yeah.
I'll be down there in a wee while.
No bother, chap.
On the way up, they spot another danger approaching.
That looks a bit white in terms of fog.
It does, doesn't it?
We've got the sun up there, but that mist coming in, that's not going to help.
You can see how bad it's getting, and we've just come up here.
It'll be absolutely Baltic up there. Don't think I'm not going to get up there in this. Nope. Yeah.
If someone's caught in an avalanche and it happens earlier in the day, they've got obviously probably a better chance of survival. It's essential before nightfall to get there and try and get as much of a search completed before we lose the light, because once the light's gone, we're just going to be reliant on torches, and it's just pitch black. You know, it can be very challenging.
I mean, it looks quite pleasant to the left, but with the mist coming in there, that's just going to drop. The temperature's already about -4 at the moment. It's supposed to drop to -6 overnight, and where they are, the temperature's likely to be considerably colder.
And that is coming in quite quick. It's just going to engulf this area in a second.
With the temperature dropping and the mist rolling in, if any skiers are trapped in the snow, they need to be found before it's too late. In Inverness, the police have intercepted a package in the post. It could be a breakthrough in their ongoing battle against county lines drug gangs.
The Royal Mail sorting office, I think they were a bit suspicious about the package. Maybe a number of packages that have been coming in recently. And a police dog has been in the Royal Mail sorting office and has basically indicated on the package. If I flip it over, I've got to be careful, you see, not to handle it too much, because it is going for testing. From my experience, it would appear to me to be crack cocaine, and I have no doubt that when it's tested, it will come back as crack. Our assessment at this time is that this is linked to a particular Liverpool-based County Lines group operating in Inverness. The County Lines groups tend to deal in a 0.2 gram crack cocaine deal, and they sell for about £20. And from what we're seeing here, that's potentially a lot of deals. Taking this out of the system, it can't be dealt tonight or tomorrow or the next day. But I've got no doubt, knowing what these County Lines groups are like, they'll probably replace this pretty quick. Some of the groups we have in Inverness, we assess are generating between £3,000 and £4,000 a day from drug supply. So the likes of this, we're estimating worth between maybe £12,000 and £15,000. So to them, it's probably a drop in the ocean, really. But for us, it's a fantastic result. It also means that hopefully some lives are being saved this week, and they're hopefully preventing potential overdoses.
It's a win for the police, but the method by which the drugs were concealed points to a professional operation.
The package has arrived with a cardboard box which has a TV remote on the front. The person who sent it might have thought that the remote control in the box might have thrown off the scanner, so they might have seen that it's just some sort of electronic device being sent up here, as opposed to the heat-sealed package containing all the crack cocaine and the heroin. These groups know that the police are onto them. There are many ways in which they can take their drugs up into Inverness. So what we have found is they might have the controlled substances banked inside of them internally, and they'll use a train and come to Inverness. But also, more recently, what we've seen are drugs being posted to Inverness. Now, I wonder if that's because there's been quite good interceptions in vehicles and persons on trains and buses, that the County Lines groups have changed their tactics, and now what they've taken to doing is posting their drugs up to Inverness in preparation for their runner to deal the drugs up here.
The package also gives vital clues about where the suspects might be.
So the really handy thing with a package is there's always an address as to where it's being sent, and quite often there's tracking information as to who sent the package. So thankfully for me in this inquiry, we have got tracking details, but I often find myself working alongside Merseyside Police. A lot of county lines originate within their force area. And because of that, these forces in England are always really keen to assist us. A package being posted to Inverness with drugs within it and sent by someone within Liverpool, I can guarantee that within probably 24 hours they'll have had a response from Merseyside. This is the CCTV that they've managed to capture. This is the package here, the same package we had in Inverness. Paid for in cash, of course. Non-traceable. You see quite a lot of cash. We'll definitely be looking at executing a warrant at the intended address. And then, depending on if we can identify who has sent the package from out with Inverness, definitely be looking at maybe some warrants elsewhere.
But Duncan needs to act fast. As soon as the dealers realise the package has been intercepted, they'll almost certainly move to a different address.
I think they're on the ground now at the site, so hopefully get an update as to if someone is actually trapped underneath the snow.
In Aviemore, as the light fades, the search for a skier who could have been caught in an avalanche is continuing. The police mountain rescue team radios with an update.
There appears to be 2 incoming tracks, but both those tracks continue to climb up and outwards and away, so 2 tracks in, 2 tracks out. Nothing suggestive that there was potentially anybody caught, but the search on the pit is ongoing.
Skiers obviously leave quite distinct tracks in the snow, because that would clarify straight away if there was a skier caught in the avalanche.
And after taking a closer look, the police mountain rescue team comes to a decision.
The site itself is relatively shallow in places, except at the bottom it's been properly explored, and it would be reasonable to expect anybody buried would have been seen. If you concur, we will look to get off the hill. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. The rationale.
At this moment in time, it looks like there's going to be a stand down from the mountain, and no one has been swept away or buried in the snow, so it's a good result.
The mountain rescue team, they did a full sweep of the area. There was no persons trapped or needing any assistance, so it turned out to be a false call, which was a relief to everybody.
I don't know why this person is walking this way.
But as Jamie and Ross start heading back to the station, they come across another emergency.
The chocolate lab is loose in the forest. He's got no cholera, and I've been out 3/4 of an hour. I've not seen another person.
Just wondering if he's maybe jumped out of his garden.
Well, maybe, but I can't do anything with him.
Yeah.
Where there's a dog on the loose, a worried owner usually isn't far behind.
Have you lost a dog? He's in the field. He seems to have made a new friend. What happened?
I literally went to turn away and he just
disappeared.
I think the dog owner has arrived.
Look!
Joyce, thank you.
Who's that?
He doesn't care.
Yeah, oblivious.
He just wants to see me cry.
Bless. What's the name?
Brax.
Brax is going to end in tears. I can feel it now. It's going to be pain.
So I'm sorry. He was like 1 minute behind me the next. So the tears are currently almost frozen.
Brax! Wait. Right, if you get your dog, Brax will come over. Oh, hello! Brax! Brax was just totally in a bromance with this other dog for whatever reason. You never know what you're going to quite expect in this job. 1 minute you're dealing with an avalanche and a potential skier buried under snow, and the next you've got a lively lab that wants to go and make a new friend.
Finally, after some resistance, Jamie can reunite the dog with his owner.
I think we need cuffs for dogs. Right, shoop. Go round. Come on. Good boy. He's got a serious crush on this other dog.
Thank
you
you
managed?
guys
Are you
so
quite
much.
close?
I just live there.
Right, okay.
Thank you so much.
problem
I'm
at
sorry
all.
for wasting your time.
Oh, don't you worry. You enjoy?
Thank you.
Have a
It's funny how this job goes from like really serious incidents
to
not so serious. No.
100 miles off the north coast of Scotland lie the Shetland Islands, where today preparations for Uphelliar, the annual Viking fire festival, are in full swing.
Everyone's getting ready for Uphelliar, and it's just, yeah, everyone loves it.
It means the world. People just love it so much. Buzzing for everything.
Shetland's capital, Lerwick, has a population of about 7,500, but over 10,000 are expected to attend the festival. So a team of 20 officers has been drafted in from the mainland to support the local cops for what is, without a doubt, a unique policing challenge.
Right, cool, folks, thanks very much for this. This is the briefing for Uphelliar. It's one of the 10 fire festivals that are run here in Shetland each year. The main event is obviously the evening period. That brings risk, obviously, because each of them will be in possession of a lit torch. We're due high winds by about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, between 70 and 80 miles an hour, so there's a weather warning in place. All right, guys, thank you very much. The Uphelliar has been running now for over 100 years. It's attended by around about 1,000 Vikings. They ultimately to celebrate the Norse, the Norwegian history of Shetland itself. Were originally at one point, many centuries ago, part of Norway. So there's a real strong bond there.
As well as the officers from the mainland, a few other cops on shift tonight are new to Shetland and its customs. Like Sergeant Davy Carmichael, who moved here 2 years ago.
This is a big night for us. It's a big night for the community. As you'll see just shortly how much they enjoy themselves, taken very seriously. Prior to coming here, I was an officer down in Lanarkshire for 16 years. I did most of my service down there. And from the differences from working on an island to there are just unimaginable. From the way the community react to us is very different, and coming here was like a breath of fresh air for me. It ignited my love for my job again, to be honest with you, coming here.
Reminds you what community policing's all about, really, is going out there, engaging with the community. So it's certainly an event like no other.
Oh, you're not going to get this elsewhere. How's yourself? Aye. Are you drunk yet, boys?
No.
Not yet? Looking forward to it?
Once the pressure's off, yeah.
All right, if you need us, you know where we are, all right? Yeah, perfect. All right, cheers now. Cheers.
Uphelliar is all about everybody in the community getting together, having a really good time, and not knowing where the night might go.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
It's a flameless torch and something called a ljosko, that's the old Norse for it, and a light-up hat.
This year, the police have brought in some new rules to help keep the festival safe.
I will be sitting here. The parade kind of starts off just behind us.
They take a bit of explaining to the traditional-minded Vikings.
So doesn't fancy parking somewhere rather than being in the middle?
I can't. I've got to sit here. I'm going to be 50 metres in front of the parade. I'll be... Was it? I don't know. He's just gave us a briefing and that's what it was. So.
He's not sitting in the middle thinking he's going to set fire to you.
Please. Have a good one. When it comes to the festival itself, we have got a responsibility to them. It's a safe community for them. They appreciate that we've got a job to do, but we also appreciate that they're out there to enjoy themselves, and they're going to try and keep the Uphelliar as traditional as it possibly can.
When's this car going to leave the parade? He'll be well away. Sam and I will be at the front of the parade, and he'll be way ahead. You won't see him, all right? There'll be one at the back as well, but again, that'll be away at the back, and you won't see him either.
That's fine, that's just in confirmation, that's fine.
No, it's fine, all right?
With the plan clear for the parade, it's time for the main feature and hazard of the night to spark into life. The flaming torches.
Standing in a dark street with the wind blowing, there's a bit of rain blowing, there's no street lights on, so it's really, really dark. And suddenly, within less than 10 seconds, 100 flares are lit, 1,000 torches burn off the back of that, and suddenly the street is lit up. The heat, the smell, that atmosphere is absolutely incredible. You have to look at the risk. You're talking about 1,000 torches burning away. And I think anywhere else in the UK or Scotland, health and safety would have a hairy fit, considering you've got 10,000 people in the town centre.
This is Shetland. Welcome to the north of Scotland.
just like burning fence posts. No issues whatsoever. All good. Now look at that, what a sight.
150 years in the making, a year in the planning, 35 minutes of walking. And they're about to set this galley in fire, which they've spent a year building. It's not a regular night in the Highlands, is it? Not a regular night anywhere.
In Inverness, detectives are preparing for an early morning raid on an address linked to the intercepted package of drugs. They believe a County Lines gang could have taken over the property.
Thanks very much for the early starts. I'm going to try and get an address done this morning under a County Lines thing, so it's a group Scouts Nay. A lot of the Scouts Nay are currently wanted down south, which would be a benefit to scoop them up. We know the female is within the resident. As for other nominals, don't know, this is just the County Lines model. You're probably aware this is a group with their violence, so just be wary of that today. Any questions?
This could be a breakthrough for the police. For weeks they've been on the back foot in their fight against the increasingly violent drug gangs. If they move fast and with enough force, that could be about to change.
You just have to be prepared for anything if you're going through these doors. These groups aren't afraid to use weapons, threaten to stab officers, will punch you, kick you. People do anything they can when they're desperate to get away.
Straight, and it's that one with the light on. There they are, there.
The police have identified the woman they believe is being exploited by the gang, and 2 of the County Lines gang members have been found inside. Finally, it's the result the police have been hoping for.
It appears that there's 2 Liverpudlians. They'll get taken back to the police station.
Before being taken in, one suspect is allowed a supervised visit to the toilet, which proves quite revealing.
I don't know if it's powder or if it's like tissue paper in his ball sack.
Right.
And I got him to bend over, but there was nothing obvious to come out.
Yeah, the male's behaviour when we came in the house, as soon as we got him in the cuffs, he immediately asked to go and use the toilet. They said there's some form of residue within his boxers, which could indicate that there's stuff internally banked. And there's a box of condoms. That is what they would tend to use if they are banking, to keep everything within one package when it's inside them.
With the suspects in cuffs and on their way to custody, Ashley and the team can search the house for evidence of drug dealing.
They will generally take over a room or an area of a house. Those 2 will be the only 2 trusted with the product and the money. The occupier won't have a say in it.
Finding drugs in a flat like this can be challenging. So Chief, the drug search dog, has been brought in to assist.
Police dogs are very important to us. These groups will operate in the illegal drug world. They know that it's hard for us to find small wraps of drugs or small packages in a house that can be very messy. The drugs dogs, they will scan the property and then we can go in and take a further look.
Good boy. Good lad, eh? Oh, hundreds in there, eh, boy? What's in here, son? Top drawer. Quite a bit in there.
A lot of cash, a lot of rocks and stuff like that.
So this is the room that these boys were located in, which they're probably staying in whilst they're here. A bowl of wraps, and there's a quantity of cash. So that'll be suspected Class A crack cocaine and heroin, along with the proceeds of the drug dealing and the scales that have got the white powder on them, where they're probably weighing out how much goes into one deal. That's like a deal, and you've got that much. It's not even half a day's work for the group though, you know. They'll be getting reloads like that 2-3 times a day to keep them going. So you can see how they make their money.
As the cops tally up their findings, it's clear how lucrative the county line's business can be.
£1,800 along with a wee bit of drugs as well.
It's not only the drugs and cash that show the effect on this community. In the living room, the team uncovers several weapons, including knives, knuckle dusters, and a large sword.
Not only are you're taking drugs off the street, you're seizing weapons that can be used in violent crime. And it's just that constant kind of feeling of you might actually be doing something good.
With 2 suspects under arrest and the county lines gang disrupted, the community has one less threat to worry about.
I would love to see an Inverness that's free of drug dealing and free of county lines gangs, in particular because they do bring a lot of violence, and dangerous subjects end up coming up to Inverness who we've never experienced before. Now I know that addiction is really, really difficult to break away from, but I do think it's important that ourselves, the police and the health service, can work together to try and help these persons who are afflicted by addiction.
This is a nationwide, UK-wide problem. These groups, they're all over the place. I don't think you will ever stop it. We just have to do our best to prevent it as much as possible. So we really rely on people having the confidence and the trust in us to approach us and let us know what's going on. We have to work together to try and solve the problem.
Next time, in South Uist, detectives are searching the scene of a serious assault. In Shetland, police arrest a man on suspicion of threatening a staff member at a local pharmacy.
Who's made an allegation against me? Tell me a name and I'll say yes or no.
And in Glencoe, a full-scale mountain rescue operation is getting underway.
There's been a rucksack found.
It's just whether he's anywhere near it.
Where is he?